So okay guys, this is my analysis on gold this week. Okay, so you see that price is actually forming, this was the previous low. Price came and cleared that liquid, that previous low. Okay, and then afterward, um, price is now on the journey to even continue lower. Okay, this was the previous low that actually price came and broke through, and then we have the new higher high, okay, which is around here, that price actually formed. Okay, so the first thing with gold that you have noticed is that price has actually been selling for the past few hours. Okay, perhaps from yesterday price has been selling, because we can see this volume here. This is all a selling candle. Okay, what's the daily time frame? You see that this is like one candle on the daily, and it's aggressive selling. Okay, aggressive massive selling. So anyways, we go to the H1. Okay, we look for market structure. Okay, so we see that price has now, we have been forming lower lows. This was the previous low, and then price came and cleared that low. Okay, so price came and cleared this previous low. So what do we expect? We expect a pullback, a correction move, and then afterwards we shall be expecting some setups for sales. So we shall be expecting something like this, then price comes back up, then we have another sell downward. Okay, so this is the setup that we are looking for on gold currently. But so the first area that you could look for is this area here, because some people say there is demand or supply, whatever. But for me, what I usually do is that I usually wait for a pattern of this sort. You know, it's very easy to fall for this supply and demand crap. Okay, it's not crap, but it's very easy to fall for it, especially if you have no strategy. So my strategy is as follows. I want to see, first of all, price break this previous high. So this is the high, lower high. So this is the previous lower high. I want to see price come and clear this level here. Okay, so my pattern is probably something like this. Price clears this previous high. Okay, and then if I'm to continue taking my buys, after price takes that previous high, it performs a pullback. Okay, to create a new higher high, which is lower than the first one, then you have a continuation up. Okay, so that is my whole analysis for gold. I want to see some form of pattern exactly like this. Okay, because we have a new lower low here, okay, which is being formed around here. So I want to see price come and make a new higher low. Okay, once we have a new higher low, and on top of that we have a new higher high, that means that price is ready to actually now start doing what? Start pushing higher, which is very fantastic. Okay, so given that in mind, let me first remove all that drawing so that I can analyze for you better. You see that price has been extremely bullish on gold for the past couple of days. Okay, and most people are wondering what the hell is happening to gold right now. And the truth is, gold has been extremely bullish. Okay, so let me just take some analysis here. Okay, so you came to this point in the market. What did you see? You see that price has been forming lower lows. Okay, price made it a new lower low. Okay, let me first start from this area. Okay, so price was making lower lows, it came, cleared, formed a new lower low here, then we formed a new higher high. Now this is an area of interest because we have formed a new higher high, so we have to wait for price to form a high which is greater than the previous high. Okay, so this is a new higher high. So what do we expect to do now? We could expect now to take price for a buy to clear this new higher high. What did price do instead? Price instead rejected and instead continued even making new lower lows. So after some time, we realized that price, after making new lower lows, we actually now made a break of structure around this area here. This is where we broke our structure. Okay, this was a structure shift. Okay, this was a structure shift. Sorry for that. Okay, here. This was a structure shift. So we had price came and then broke this area here. So this was the previous. Sorry for that. This is MT4. It disturbs a lot. I think I should just switch to the time frame, to the MT5, which is more better. But anyways, I will see that price came and cleared this level. Okay, So what does that mean for us? For us as traders, we want to see after price clears this previous high, and then afterwards we want to see price come and make a new higher high. If you observe clearly, price came and cleared this higher high around here. My stop loss is definitely at around, if you observe, this is the high that created this break of structure. So if price breaks through this high, I don't want to be in the market. What did price do? It retested back towards that same zone that created the new higher high, and then afterwards we had a continuation. If you had caught this trade from around here, okay, if you had caught this trade from here all the way up to here, that's almost 269 pips on gold. Do you know how much that is? 269, actually not 269, it's 2700 pips on gold. You know how much that is? Okay, you would have caught a very good entry, and it's all based off of market structure. As I've been telling you, price is making lower lows, making higher highs. I think I'll let me first switch to the MT5, because the one on gold is actually making the whole thing difficult. Okay, so once you switch to MT5, set MT5, I have some entries on these pairs, so I don't want to open the market. 1984, I think we lost this trade on yeah, we lost this trade on AUDCHF. Market structure, actually I took us out. Okay, we are taken out. We were taken out, okay, which is okay. We shall find another setup. But clearly, I'm still wondering, why the hell did we get taken out? Let me first move the drawings. Okay, so price had been making higher highs. This was the previous low along this area here. This was the previous low, and then this was the previous what? This was the previous high. The previous high was around here. Okay, this was the previous high. So price is just playing around these areas, but if you observe, we haven't yet broken any significant structure. We have been making lower lows, but I want to first of all see price come and take out this low around here. I want price to come and take out this high, okay, and then afterwards I shall be in a position to know that price is actually now starting to take out and continue in the buying position. But apart from that, I can't take any entries on this pair. CHF currently can't take any entries there. Maybe CHF card JPY. I usually love going on the H1 because it's a bit more better for market structure analysis anyways. And we see that price has been making lower lows. If you observe, price has been making lower lows, and if we make our trend line, we see that this was the previous low, okay, and price has clearly broken out from this previous low. Want to see the previous high that made this previous low? So it was that. This was the previous high that made this previous low, okay, and yeah, that's it. The previous high was here actually. Sorry for that. The previous high was there. So price has to first of all clear that previous high before we have a continuation for the upside. Okay. So what do I expect? I expect to wait a bit, and then we shall see what price gives us. Okay. This is AUDCHF, so we don't usually take entries on this pair at this moment. Let's go to more active pairs like GBP JPY. Okay, on GJ, the market structure looks extremely bullish. It has been bullish for the past few hours actually. This was the previous high, and then this was the previous low along this area. Price came and took out the previous high. Okay. Price came and took out the previous high. We made a pullback. So I want to see the previous low that took out the previous high, and the previous low that took out the previous high is along this area. Sorry for that. Okay, the previous low that took out the previous high is along this area. Okay, so that means that price has the potential to clear, okay, to clear previous low. This is the previous low that took out the previous high. So as long as price doesn't cross this area, we are good to go for buys. Okay, we are good to go for buys. Okay, so this was also the previous low. This was also the previous high along this area. So price came and took it out again, which gives us enough confidence that price is likely to continue buying. But now we have to look for the previous low that took out the previous high. Okay, so the previous low that took out the previous high is probably this one. So I want to see if I'm able to take my buys. If I'm able to take my buys and I put my stop loss underneath, if I took a buy along this area, stop loss will be how much? How much stop loss is this? Let me see. Buy here. Stop loss is gonna be around here. So TP is gonna be at the previous high, which is along this area here. Okay. So yeah, I'll probably wait for this because this was the previous low. We took out the previous high. This is why we have a new low, a higher low. Therefore, the market is extremely going to now the moon. Okay. And yeah, but currently where it is, I can't take any setups because it's too messy. Go to the H4, the structure is even better. In the H4, the structure is even more clear. Okay, price has been making higher highs. Okay, this high is higher than this previous higher low. So that means that this is also another area of confluence because it took out the previous let me see, low, high. So I want to see a pullback. If we have a pullback, I should exit this previous low. So go to the low time frame, like the M15, okay? The M15, M5, okay, sorry, M5 is better. So on the M5, we see that price is actually making lower lows. So what do I want to see? I want price to first of all take out this high, this area here, so that I can have more confluences for buys. If price takes out that area, we come back for pullback, then I shall take my entries. But if it does it and then continues even lower, that's okay. We shall look for setups elsewhere. But the first area that I'm looking at is maybe this area here. So this area is where we actually took our entries from. Okay, this is a new higher high, and then yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it currently. M1 market structure, we see that it's bearish. Okay, you're having a pullback, maybe up to around, this was the previous low high. So as long as this low is not taken out, we may see a push wise to clear this low here. So yeah, that's how it's looking on GBPJPY. It's making lower lows, so we're expecting price to even continue lower in the next coming hours. Okay, yeah, and unless we see a confirmation, we don't take any entries. Simple as that. But yeah, let's wait. Then for another pair which I like to trade a lot during these times is GBP-AUD. You know, for GBP-AUD, I go to the H1. But let me first come back.